My name is Martha, and for a long time I felt like a book that had been read once and then left to gather dust on a shelf. At 82, the walls of the Silver Oaks nursing home had become my entire world. When you are old and your body begins to fail, the world outside starts to shrink until all that remains is the rhythm of your own breath and the sterile smell of antiseptic. I wasn't a woman of faith. I believed in what I could see, and what I saw was a body that betrayed me and a life that was fading into a quiet, lonely, white noise. I spent my nights staring at the ceiling, gripped by a cold, suffocating fear. Not just the fear of dying, but the fear that my suffering was meaningless, just a cruel biological glitch at the end of the road. Then came the nights when the pain in my joints felt like glass shards grinding together. It was during one of those dark, endless hours that I met Maryam. She was a night shift nurse, always moving with a quiet grace that seemed out of place in such a heavy environment. I noticed something peculiar about her. While other nurses were efficient but hurried, Maryam was present. Sometimes when she adjusted my pillows or checked my vitals, I would see her lips moving in a silent, rhythmic whisper. One night the pain was unbearable. I was weeping, not just from the ache in my bones, but from the sheer exhaustion of being human. Maryam came in, sat on the edge of my bed, and held my hand. Her touch wasn't clinical. It was warm. "Why do you do it?" I rasped. "Why are you so patient with an old woman who does nothing but complain?" She smiled, a gentle expression that reached her eyes. "In my faith," she said softly, "we are taught that caring for the elderly is a doorway to paradise, and we are taught that God is very close to those whose hearts are hurting." I looked at her, confused. "But look at me, Maryam. I'm falling apart. What kind of God wants this for a person?" She didn't look away. "Martha," she whispered, "did you know that in Islam we believe that even the prick of a thorn, even the smallest worry or pain, is a means for God to wash away our mistakes? We believe that suffering isn't a punishment, but a purification. It is a sign that He is looking at you, preparing you for a place where there is no more pain." She told me a verse from her book, the Quran. "Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear." For the first time in years, the air in a room felt lighter. I stayed awake that night, not out of pain, but out of a strange, budding curiosity. I began to watch her more closely. I saw her pray in the corner of the staff break room during her few minutes of rest, forehead to the ground, a posture of total surrender. It looked like the most peaceful thing I had ever seen. Over the next few weeks, Maryam became my window into a world I never knew existed. She told me about a God who is one, who is merciful, and who never loses sight of His creation. She told me that my life had a purpose until the very last second, and that death was not a wall, but a bridge to go back home. I realized then that I had spent 80 years looking for a reason for everything, but I had been looking in the wrong places. I found the logic in the most unlikely place, in the heart of a young woman who saw my aging body as a blessing to serve, not a burden to carry. One morning, as the sun began to peek through the blinds, painting the room in gold, I called her over. "I'm ready," I said. "Ready for what, Martha?" "I want that peace," I told her. "I want to belong to the one who created this soul of mine. I want to go home knowing I am heard." With tears in her eyes, she guided me through the words, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah." I bear witness that there is no God but God. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. As the words left my lips, the fear that had lived in my chest for decades simply vanished. I am still 82, my bones still ache, but I am no longer a dusty book on the shelf. I am a soul in conversation with its creator. I am Martha, and I have finally found my way home.